We're gonna get started here.
Okay, sounds good.
And we want to welcome you. Thank you, those of you who are on time. And for being on time, we have an on-time giveaway.
Do we?
Right? Yep. So all of these giveaways, we're going to give away some Thrive credit. So it will be Thrive dollars that will put into your account, and you'll be able to use that towards a purchase. Now, the purpose of this is to have new people get introduced to Thrive. And so if you are a consultant, don't even bother Cindy answering these questions because you're disqualified. And tell Dan if he's there, he's disqualified too. So these are for non-consultants, guests, people who are not consultants. You might have been getting or buying our food, tasted our food, that's fine. But if you're a consultant, then you don't qualify for this. So the first question before we get started is
Tracy on? She's my gal. Let's have to see if Tracy's on.
Yeah,
or I might be on my own.
My screen is kind of
I'm here.
Okay,
Okay,
now we can
Tracy's
see
on there.
everybody.
All right. So first question. Should I share my screen to do this? Let's see this one. Okay, what % of nutrients are retained in the freeze drying process? So we're going to talk a little bit about freeze drying. Thrive foods are freeze dried. And so the question is, what % of the nutrients are retained through that process? Go ahead and in the chat, type in your answer. First person to get the right answer, Tracy's watching, is going to get $10 in Thrive credit added to their account. Now, if you don't have an account, that's fine. All you have to do is go online. The person who invited you to be on this call tonight can provide their website for you. You would go on there, log in, or set up an account, and then log in, and then we'll have that credit added to your. All right, we got two screens here going. We'll add that credit to your account. So. I need to figure out, sorry, this is kind of far away. I need to find the chat. I've got everything at the top of the screen instead of the bottom. Okay, who said that? 97% is very close enough that we're going to give it to you, but I can't see who that is. Can you see that? I need some glasses.
I told you you're going to need glasses.
I know, but all right, sorry. Marcia got it. Okay. So Marcia, the person who invited you to be on this call, if you don't already have an account, can help you set it up, and then we will get that deposited into your account. So congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get going?
Yeah. And what we need to do to identify you is just your name and your email.
Yeah. The email that you use to set up your account, or if you already have an account, the email that's attached to your account.
Yep.
And then we'll get that deposited. Okay, so you want to take it from here?
All right. This is your part.
We don't really have this planned out. Okay, so let's talk about freeze drying. So this is an industrial freeze dryer. So Thrive Life is started maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I've lost track of the time. Started freeze drying its own food. The company started about 12 or 13 years ago into the food business. But about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7, got a couple of these big, huge freeze dryers. This is just the tail end of it. It goes back about probably 20, 25 feet.
Yeah, it's like as big as a bus.
Yeah, we'll freeze dry a lot of food all at once. And we had the chance when these were first installed to tour the facility. It's amazing. Well, since that time, they added another freeze dryer a year or 2 later. And then last fall added 3 more. I think 3 more freeze dryers to bring the total to 6. And then this is because the freeze dried industry is just exploding. They ordered 6 more freeze dryers that I think the capacity is 1.5 times the size of these. So those are due to come in the next few months and get installed. And so that would more than double the capacity of where it was even just this time last year.
Right. And that's just in American Fork, Utah.
Yeah, that's American Fork.
Acquired another freeze drying company out of California, which I think has 20 or 30.
I think it's 50, around 50 freeze dryers.
50 freeze dryers.
Yeah.
So joined together with them. We had a lot of freeze dryers. And
we're now the largest freeze dryer in North America and probably one of the largest in the world.
Right.
And the reason we share that with you is because it just kind of shows you how mainstream freeze-dried food has become. When we were young, freeze-dried was for astronauts or backpacking.
Yep.
And I remember it wasn't that good. I remember going backpacking with my dad and having to eat freeze-dried food and kind of couldn't wait to get home to eat real food. But now freeze-dried food is amazing. We cook with it every day.
And that's honestly why Thrive Life started the home parties. They wanted to have the best food on the planet, and they wanted to get it in people's homes where they could taste it.
Yep. So one of the reasons why freeze-dried food has exploded is because you can store it on the shelves long term. If you've been shopping in the last 2 years, you've probably seen something like this. We kind of thought with COVID winding down, maybe that was getting better, but
now we got a war on our hands.
Now it's kind of getting worse. So yeah, the supply chain issues are huge and they're impacting everything, including food. We were at Costco last night looking for 2 or 3 of our favorite things, and they just didn't have them, the things they've had for a long time. And we asked people, hey, what about this item? And they said, we don't know if or when we'll ever get it back. We can't get it right now. Food prices are through the roof. I remember last night at Costco, there were these macadamia clusters, chocolate macadamia caramel clusters. They used to be like $8.99. They were $16.99 last night. Avocados, we used to buy a bag for $4.99. Now they're $9.99. So everything has gone up. And so people are realizing how important it is to have a store of food on hand for emergencies, but also just to be able to not have to go to the store so often. We have some cans here, and this is our newer can that I say actually probably came out 4 or 5 years ago. This is the old cans. I love it when we open an old can because I know that we paid like 2015 prices for this as opposed to the prices today. And that's one thing, you can buy food now and then use it years down the line, and you paid, the price that it was several years back. And so that's another benefit to it. Lots of benefits, but we love it and we use it every day. In the news, I don't even need to go over this because everybody knows it's just all over the news.
At least in the United States, the two things that are going up is food and gas, right?
Yeah.
Just really quickly, we're just watching it daily go up.
Yeah, I think that's true everywhere, right? So one thing that having our own freeze dryers really allows us to do is control the supply chain process. Prior to this, prior to buying the freeze dryers a few years back, we were buying our freeze dried food from industrial freeze drying companies and then packaging it. But when we bought freeze dryers and started doing our own, it allowed us to start working directly with farmers and growers and control the supply chain from the very beginning all the way to the consumer's table. And that has put us in a great position now with all these supply chain issues that we typically have product, even though items do go on back order, it's typically not for long term because it's just getting it through our process of freeze drying it, packaging it, and out. So now where we used to have things where our suppliers would just say, sorry, we can't get mushrooms. We don't know when. And it kind of like Costco. We don't know when we're going to have it. Yeah. Well, now we have the mushrooms. It's just a matter of getting them into the freeze dryers and through the process and packaging and out to the consumers. And so typically now when we have things go out of stock, it's for a very short period of time. Right. We're not perfect, but we're in a much better position than a lot of other companies out there who are having to buy their food from one big industrial freeze dryer that's supplying multiple companies. And you'll notice the freshness with ours is a lot different than from those suppliers. I've noticed a huge difference since we have been freeze drying our own food versus getting it from because those fruits and veggies, whatever it may be, have been flash frozen and kind of sitting in the freezer for a long time. So sometimes you get pineapple and it kind of tastes a little freezer burnt. Ours, we have a proprietary
steps that we follow, and we try to get it into those freeze dryers just as soon as we can.
Yeah. So I talked about working with growers. That allows us to get the very best product, allows them, because when they're actually growing the product, the foods, the produce, they know it's going to us. It allows them to leave it on the vine to ripen fully. Then when it's harvested, it's flash frozen very quickly, shipped to us, and then we store it at 40 degrees below zero before it's freeze dried. And so like Lisa said, it allows us to have a really high quality product.
Right.
And really it is just, we call it simple, clean food, because it is just food. And we're going to show you tonight how we incorporate it into our family's meals, just like we would if we were to go get asparagus at the grocery store. We just have it in the can.
And we're kind of known in the industry as kind of the Whole Foods of freeze-dried foods, because a lot of these other companies will mix their foods and add a lot of salts to them or sugars to them, but we don't do that. Every individual food is usually, asparagus is just asparagus, and strawberries, the only ingredient is strawberries.
Yeah.
So people like that, especially if you have allergies or you're gluten-free or all that kind of stuff. It's just nice to have the whole foods, and you can add what you want.
Yep. So you want to talk about some of the benefits of freeze drying?
I think you talked about these, but taste, nutrition, no preservatives, and that 25-year shelf life is golden. We have stuff that we have stored for 12 or 13 years now. We're still eating those. Yeah, maybe that's one
These
of them.
bell peppers are from 2016.
2016. So we have a lot of food that we store, but it's great because we have a growing family and we have enough food for our entire family, plus our neighbors. We just have a lot of food.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about how it's, working with the growers allows them to keep it on the vine. Everybody would like to shop at the farmer's market, ideally, right? We know that it was just picked and that it's very fresh. And well, that's kind of how Thrive is in a little bit different way. Our foods are also allowed to stay on the vine, just like food you would get at a farmer's market, until it's ready, fully ripe and at the peak of freshness. And then it's picked, and then it's flash frozen, shipped to Thrive Life, where they freeze dry it. And so even though it might not look the same as farmers market food, it's very similar in nutritional value.
Yes, you're getting all that nutrition. And that's why when you put that pineapple or that strawberry in your mouth, it's like, oh my goodness. And it's almost like tasting that fresh piece of pineapple.
Yeah, yeah. So here's another question for another Thrive credit. Again, no consultants, guests only. How far on average does produce travel to get to the grocery store in North America? How far does the produce travel on average?
On average.
Now you might say, well, I live in this place and there's lots of farms. It doesn't travel very far. But nationwide, North America, United States, Canada, on average, how far do you think produce travels? So type it in the chat. Can you pull up the chat on yours? I can't see mine.
There we go.
100 miles. Okay, we're looking for a different answer than that. So on average.
But that was a good guess.
Yep.
That was a good guess.
Yep. Think about.
Just keep guessing.
Yep.
Sometimes these will be total guesses and we get that. So you can guess again. 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles.
2,000 kilometers.
Oh, kilometers.
1,000 miles. That's actually closer. So,
do you know what kilometers is? Have you done the math?
So that's about what, 1,500 miles, I think. Right?
Is that Tracy? You Canadians?
So on average, it's about 1,500 miles is what the average produce travels. So I think
What do you think?
that Sherry, 2,000 kilometers, isn't 2,000 kilometers about 1,500 miles, 1,500 or 1,600 miles? Pretty close. Nobody's
answering.
Nobody's answering me.
Thumbs up,
we're gonna give it to Sherry. Okay. So produce travels a long way. And that's why you see bananas that look like this, right?
Well, usually you see the green ones in the store, and then you're like, oh, that'll last me a week. And you take them to your kitchen counter, and there's something magical that happens in your kitchen. Like everything goes brown. And there you go. Banana bread ready in this house.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we call it. So, there are some things definitely that probably only travel 100 miles or less to get to you. But on average, a lot of things, typically bananas are coming from South America,
Right.
and a lot of other produce, especially in the winter, is coming from South America. And so it has to be picked very early. And we know that most of the nutrients go into the fruit or the vegetables during the last part of the ripening process. And so when they're picked early, they don't get that full potential.
Right. We're losing that nutrients.
Yeah. And then what happens after it's picked?
Well, that nutrients goes way down.
Yeah.
So the grocery store, fresh versus not so fresh. I always thought that if I go get something out of the grocery store, well, then that has full vitamins, right? But 100% of vitamin C content in spinach is lost by day 4. Up to 40% vitamin C content in pears, mangoes, and pineapple is lost in week 1. Wow. And 62% phytonutrient content in broccoli is lost by week 2. So we're losing that nutrient value that we need. We always need as many vitamins and phytonutrients as we can possibly get in our foods. We always want the max, but from this graph, you can see they just go down, down, down.
Yeah, and they never even reached 100% of what they could have been because they were picked early. And then as soon as they're picked, they start losing it. And that's the difference why we say this is fresher than fresh or very similar to farmer's market, because it's picked at the peak and then within hours flash frozen, which locks in all the nutrients. And then the freeze drying process retains about 98% of the nutrients. And so that's why the flavor and the nutritional value is so high.
Let's show them a couple of our products.
Yep.
Okay, here's our broccoli, up to 52% more vitamin B. And our raspberries, one of my very, very favorites, is 52% more phytonutrients. I will take that every day. Like that is a great, great statistic right there.
Yep.
Here's some of our grandkids. They love, love, love to eat all kinds of things. You can see he's got the cheese out and she's eating peas and pineapple and apples, and they love it all. And it's funny that we have our daughter-in-laws and will share peas with these little bags of peas. They come to the soccer game or whatever. Other children won't eat it. It's the funniest thing, because they're so used to all the sugar, they're given freeze-dried peas, which taste so good to our kids because they've been raised on these things. But to other children that maybe get more sugar in their diet, they don't really love them. So we start our babies when they're first born, their baby food is freeze-dried, everything till they're eating out of the cans. And Jeff cringes every time that big can of the yogurt comes out, because he knows how much that costs, right? They're just eating handfuls of it.
Yeah, they'll eat a whole can of yogurt in one sitting. But it's all right. Yeah, so our grandkids love it. When they come to our house, that's the first thing they do is go into the pantry and grab their favorite thing. And it's usually peas or corn or cheese. It's not even the fruits.
Right. I had 2 of them today, and there was some M&Ms left over from a party. And I said, do you want the M&Ms or the strawberries? And they both said strawberries. So there you go.
All right. So shall we get cooking?
Yes, let's do it.
I'm going to turn on this, get the pan heating up.
Tonight, we just thought we would do something a little different. We thought, some of you are just trying these foods out. I'm a big believer that you don't store what you're not going to eat, right? What is the point of storing something that you're never going to eat? That makes no sense to me. So I always say, we have 2 different sizes of cans. And some people say, well, how do I try things? The first thing you do is get it in the pantry can. This is 1/3 the size of this can right here. So if you're going to try onions, try it in the pantry can. And the very first thing you try is onions. I always say go with onions because I haven't chopped an onion in 15 years and I don't plan on going back. It's just one of those things that you use in your cooking probably every single day. And tonight we're just going to be adding a couple of vegetables to a dish that we had in our freezer that needed some spicing up, right?
Yeah. So we call it thrivalizing. We thrivalize meals all the time. you know, it's great to be able to cook full meals using freeze-dried foods, but really we do that sometimes. But
Sure.
most of the time it's just supplementing a recipe or a dish, and just cuts out some of the hassle of the prep and running to the store for things.
Right.
And so we what we're going to do is, you want to show them that?
Yes. So we're gonna make, this is just from Trader Joe's. It's Mandarin orange chicken. Any of you guys like Mandarin orange chicken? Have you guys tasted Mandarin orange chicken? There you go.
Yeah,
A
it's
few-
really good. But the thing is, all that's in it is chicken. They show this picture with greens, and I think it's like, I don't know, broccoli, maybe some beans. There's some green stuff in it. We had this last week, and Lisa made it, and all it was just the chicken.
Yeah.
There were no vegetables. And I said, you know what? That would be perfect to Thrivealize. So that's what we're going to do. So what we have here is we have some bell peppers and we have sliced onions, and I put them into here. And I always talk about this. How much water do you add? How do you know? People always know. That's one of the things that prevents people from trying freeze-dried is what do I do? How do I refresh it? How much
So
water
this is
should I
the
add?
tip. This is the secret until it floats off the bottom.
So I'm just gonna add, and right there, I saw it, the veggies lifted off the bottom of the bowl. That's all you need to do. And it's gonna soak that up. And in a few minutes, there won't really be any water that you can see. It'll all be into the veggies.
And I'm gonna help it just get, I'm gonna stir those up so they all get coated with a little water.
So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put some oil into here. I'm gonna dump the chicken. And we're just gonna let that heat up for a minute. And one thing that is really nice about using Thrive like this is it really, you learn how to use it. So that, like, if you're making a dish, maybe spaghetti or whatever family favorite, and you don't have any onions or you don't have any mushrooms, you can go to the pantry and just grab some. You need a half a cup, scoop it out, throw it in, and you don't have to run to the store for that. Or you don't need to buy a whole onion when you only need a half of an onion. And it really becomes something that's very convenient. But in doing this, you learn how to use it.
Right.
So that if there ever is a situation where you need to live off of this food, you know what you like, you know how to use it. You could make a meal with 100% Thrive. We could use Thrive chicken in this. But it's also very convenient just when you have something, we buy stuff all the time now that it's just the two of us that are quick, easy little meals. I love like ramen and the yakisoba things, but they hardly have any vegetables. And so every time I make them, I'm throwing in mushrooms and bell peppers and onions and peas and corn and all kinds of fried food. Just
Seems like food companies really
spice
limit
it
their
up.
vegetable content. I don't know what it is, but we even get like pizza. We got pizza the other day and it had like 2 veggies on it. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what? Come on, give me a few more veggies here.
Yeah. So we use Thrive all the time just to spice up these dishes. So there's that.
Okay.
So you can already see that just in a couple of minutes, most of the water is soaked up, and I could throw it in now, but let's go ahead and put the sauce in. This comes with this amazing orange chicken sauce. It's kind of a sweet and sour sauce, and dump that in. We call that the Thrive sizzle. Okay, I'm going to throw these in now.
Okay. Stand back.
And throw in that one. Okay, so now you can see that has some color to it. It's got some vegetables in there, and I could put more, I could put less, whatever I like. If I like broccoli, I could put broccoli in there, asparagus, whatever I like, I can put in there. But I'm just going to turn that down and let it simmer for just a few minutes. And that'll be ready to go. So literally, we have a meal in 5 minutes, and where it really saves the time is, what did we cut out in preparing that meal?
The prep.
The prep. We didn't have to wash, peel, chop any of the veggies. We just scoop them out and throw them in. Now, if this does have a sauce, if your dish has a lot of liquid, you can just throw the Thrive in there and the liquid will rehydrate or refresh the vegetables.
Yep.
But this is more of a thick sauce. And so that's why I use a little bit of water beforehand.
I was like against that, but he wanted to do it that way. So you could do it either way.
Yeah.
If your veggies are still a little crunchy, you could just spritz some water on them and they'll be fine.
Yeah. And even if there's not enough liquid maybe to just really refresh them, you can always put a lid on this after it cooks, and the steam will just refresh the vegetables.
Right.
So that's all there is to it. It already smells amazing.
But if you haven't tried our sliced onions, which we put in this, you can really smell the aroma of them. I love them. I cook with them all the time, but chopped onions and sliced onions, kind of a go-to in our kitchen.
Yeah, we use a lot of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back and share the screen. So we want to talk now a little bit about this waste. You want to talk
None
about
of you
this?
waste, right? None of you waste. I know you don't. No, everybody wastes food. And I probably wasted over $100 worth of food every single month, just throwing things away. I had good intentions. I promise you I had good intentions, but it just got moldy. And one of my problems is I love mushrooms, love bananas, all the things that go bad within like 2 days. Right. But I just would like, oh, I'm going to make my favorite dish and I've got my mushrooms all ready. And then bam, I go to get them and they're all moldy, just like this picture here. And so I love things that go bad very, very quickly. Blueberries, strawberries. I just love those kind of things, but they were going bad in my refrigerator. Celery. There's lots of things that just went bad in my refrigerator. So when I was introduced to Thrive Life, I was like, this is genius because now I'm not going to waste. And when they said, yeah, you can get on this delivery thing, it costs $100 a month and you get free shipping, I'm just like, where do I sign up? Because I knew that was the right thing for me to do for my family. Because I knew if my family would eat it, I would store this food for the rainy days. And we've been doing that for 12 or 13 years now. So I think you're supposed to, just showing you the.
I know it's small screen, but yeah, that's it. That's the dish. Just, we had some rice, just serve it over the rice and there you go. Okay. So we got another giveaway.
Okay.
Question.
Let's do it.
Get your fingers ready. If you're not a
You
consultant.
need to click on that.
I know, I'm just prepping them.
Oh, you're prepping them.
Get your fingers ready.
Get your finger
Okay,
ready.
here we go. Cindy, not you. What
He's
percent
so
of
mean
the
to you.
average family food budget goes to waste? Okay, type in a percent that you think the average family food budget that goes to waste. What percent? Yeah, open up your chat's a little easier to see.
Okay, let's go. What percent? Just guess. You may not
You got
know.
new messages, but yours
Oh.
isn't like.
I don't know. Where's my? I thought that was my.
Click on the red box. It says
Okay.
new messages. There you go. Okay. We got a 50%, 20%, 25%. Anybody else? Will give the person that's the closest. If nobody else has one. None of those are quite right, but they're close. You can see the answer. Yeah, you're not supposed to cheat. See, it's too small for me to see the answer. I know. All right, let's look at it. 32%. So that 25%.
Why don't you have this on full screen?
Tabitha, 25%. You win it. It's 32%. So you were close. And it varies, but this was in 2020. And I've seen these studies vary from anywhere from like 30 to 40%. But 32% study by the American Journal of Agricultural Economics in 2020. And so, yeah, we waste a lot of food. And, part of that is stuff that goes bad, like we talked about. Part of it is just wasting or making too much of something and then not using and throwing away.
Yeah.
There's lots of reasons, but we can definitely make an impact on our food budget by not throwing as much food away, right? And that's something that we love about Thrive. It really helps us to eliminate the amount that we throw away. If we need onions, we just scoop them out. We don't have to go buy an onion or a bag of onions and use some of them.
Because you use half of it and then you put it in a cute little baggie and you put it in your refrigerator and it goes to die there.
Yeah. So, you can actually save money because you're not running to the store to buy things that you need, eliminate impulse buys, and then eliminate buying more than you need and then having it go bad.
Right.
Or just, these bell peppers, I think, have been on our shelf for over a year open. We've had them since 2016, but they've been open for well over a year.
If you're in a dry climate, it will last you over 2 years. If you're in a humid climate, it's right around a year.
Yep. Okay, you want to talk about this?
Retail, paying retail. Who likes to pay retail? Nobody. So we've got a great, is this talking about the delivery? I can't remember.
Yep.
Okay, so on our delivery, you're going to pay wholesale. Our delivery service, you get 15% off retail plus your free shipping if it's over $100. So that's 27% total savings. So I always encourage people to get to that $100, even if you have to split it with a few people. It's worth it. And free shipping to anywhere besides Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and Alaska.
So Canada and US,
you get free shipping. So it's a great deal, and we want everybody to get the deal, which is the wholesale pricing.
Yep.
We have the flexible delivery service. Every month, what you do is you go in there and you just customize it to what you want. This month, I think I ordered a case of Fuji apples. We go through those like crazy. We use them in a lot of cooking dishes. And so I ordered a case of those. You can customize it each and every month. You're going to get an email that says, hey, it's time to go in there and customize your order. You can change your shipment. If you're going to be out of town 1 month, change your shipment date. If you're going to know that you're going to be out of the country for 6 months, change your ship date to ahead 6 months. So you can skip, pause, cancel anytime. It's a very flexible program. People love it. You're in control, and you get to just change it to whatever you'd like, whatever fits your lifestyle.
Yep. So we talked a little bit earlier about setting up an account. If you've ever purchased from us, or even if you haven't purchased, you may already have an account. If you don't, you can go in and just enter your name and email address and set up an account. And when you do that, you have the ability to use a referral code that other people can use, and they can save money, and you can get 10% back in their purchases. So for example, if you were to share this referral code with, let's just say a handful of people, and combined, they ordered $1,000 worth of food, then you would get $100 in credit, Thrive credit, that you could use to purchase food. So it's a great way. It's, we're not in grocery stores. We're not advertising, on TV or radio. We market or promote our foods through what we're doing tonight and through word of mouth, and literally mouth, food in mouth. And, people try it, they love it, and they share it. And when you do that, you can earn free Thrive credit. So you can either once you set up an account, go in, copy the link and send that out to people, or you can even enter their name and email and hit send, type a little message and send that out to them. It will provide them with that referral code. So it's a great way to share the Thrive love and get a little bit of Thrive credit in return.
Yeah.
Now, our favorite way to get Thrive is being a consultant. You want to talk about that?
Being a consultant, I've been a consultant for 13 years now, and we have loved it. We get to share with other people. We get to make some income as we do so. We are able to share, to basically get a little kickback on purchasing our food. So we think it's the best route to go. Who doesn't like to have a little extra money at the end of the month? I mean, and you can do it part-time, you can do it full-time. We have all kinds. We have many, many delivery customers who started off right there ordering the food, but kind of fell in love with the food and thought, I want to be a consultant. So if you'd like to be a consultant, get with the person that invited you tonight. They would be happy to sign you up and get you trained. And whatever your goals are, they can help you accomplish those.
Yeah. So we're going to just kind of briefly go over how consultants earn money. We're not going to go into a lot of details, but if you are interested, like Lisa said, get with the person who invited you here tonight. But one thing that we really like about it, and the thing that really got my attention early on, is the residual income, which means you sell once and you get paid over and over and over again. Now, like Lisa said, she's been a consultant for 12, 13 years, and she's still earning income from customers who started 12 or 13 years ago and purchase over regularly, and she earns a commission every time they purchase. And that's been going on for years and years. So that's something that we love about it. I love this quote by Warren Buffett: if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. And again, in the first year when Lisa started getting going in this business and started earning some money, it was so exciting to wake up in the morning, check our back office and see that we had made money in our sleep. And we had never had, we've been, employees of corporate America our entire lives. And it was so nice to be building something for ourselves and having that residual income come in. Yeah. So if we needed to take some time off or had personal things we needed to deal with, we still had a way to have income coming in.
Right.
Our commission is a very balanced plan. So it's not the kind of thing where only a few people at the top are making money and nobody else does. Whether you want to make a few $100s or a few $1,000s or a full-time income, it's possible. And there are people doing all of those things within Thrive Life.
Yeah.
So a couple of ways that you earn income. There's two ways that customers can order. You can order through what's called just a one-time order, which as a consultant, you earn 10% commission on that. But then what Lisa talked about, our delivery service, which is where you sign up for a monthly delivery, even though you can pause, cancel, or push the date out. You don't have to order every month. But when a customer does that, you earn income on a sliding scale, anywhere from 10 to 28%. And then on an ongoing basis, you earn a 5% commission. That's where I was saying where Lisa has customers that ordered years and years, started years and years ago, are still ordering, and she still earns that 5% every time they order. So the sliding scale is just based on how much volume you do in that month. And again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in this, but if someone orders, or if your total deliveries for the month, let's just say, are between $400 and $999, then you would make 11%. If it was between 1,000 and 2,000, you'd make 12%. So as your volume of new delivery orders goes up for a month, your percentage goes up. But then you can see on that next line down where it says builder bonus, you actually have the ability to double that commission. So let's just say that you fell into this 12%. Well, with the builder bonus, you could double that to 24%. And I'll just quickly kind of explain how that works. But first on consultant enrollment. So if someone joins as a consultant, you also earn a commission on that. And that again is on a sliding scale, depending on the total volume for that month. And then with builder bonus, you can double that as well. So you can earn up to 64% on the new consultant enrollments. The way the builder bonus works, you want to just explain that, since I was put you on the spot with that? You can put me on the spot.
Well, you know numbers. So if you get 8 points in a calendar month, and so we used to call it 4-2 because we would get 4 new deliveries, 2 new consultants. But then it went to points. So every delivery you get 1 point. For every consultant you get, you're going to get 2 points. And when that adds up to 8 points, that's where that commission is going to double for you. So see, that was so much easier.
So give me a test. Quiz me.
So Jeff, if you sign up 3 new deliveries and 3 new consultants, how many points do you have?
Okay, so 3 deliveries, those are 1 point each.
Right.
So that's 3 points.
Right.
3 consultants, those are 2 points each. So that's
3
6
times 2
points.
is 6. Yeah.
So 6 and 3 is 9. So I would get
builder
bonus.
So you would be over the little 8 mark.
Yeah.
Very
awesome.
good.
So builder bonus is something that's very achievable. It's something that a lot of consultants do every month. It's really a goal, kind of a baseline goal that we tell people you should have, like if you want to grow a business, that's kind of what you should be shooting for.
Yeah.
And when you do builder bonus, it opens up some other opportunities to earn income. We have a premier bonus pool. You can qualify for that by doing the builder bonus. And then you can also earn override commissions on your team sales. You can earn free and half off Thrive credits. So
Lots of ways to
other
earn
things,
money
yeah.
and free and half off stuff. So
Yeah. So if making money and getting free food is something that interests you, then you should talk to the person who invited you. It's a lot of fun. We love it. We've been doing it for a long time and have met a lot of amazing people. A lot of them are on this call tonight.
Yeah.
And it's something that we're really glad we did, glad Lisa jumped into, 12 years ago, and grateful to have it even today. Yeah. All right. So like we talked about, whatever you want, whether you just want to make enough money to pay for your own food, pay for kids' activities, or earn serious income, it's possible. So question, this is our last giveaway question for non-consultants. What are the 4 benefits of freeze drying that we talked about in the beginning of this? One of our first few slides. I'm going to scroll down so that slide is not visible. Nobody can see it, but we talked about 4 benefits. There's more than that, but see, if somebody can get all 4 of the ones that we mentioned, that Lisa, I think Lisa mentioned early on, then we're going to give away some Thrive credit to that person. So type in.
They're stumped.
4 benefits. Nobody? No waste, long-term storage. Okay, that's 2 of them.
Yeah.
If somebody else can get more than 2, they'll win. But let's see, time saving, that's 1. Like nutrition, that's another. Okay, so you guys are getting all of them, just kind of split up between people. So we're going to give it to the first person who got better taste nutrition. A lot of people are getting I think you've covered all of them. So it was nutrition, taste, long lasting. And what was I can't even remember what the 4th.
No preservatives.
We might have to go back up to that slide.
All right. So we
No
are going to give it
preservatives.
to, you're going to have to scroll back up. Tracy, the first person who got 3 of them, I don't remember who that was. Oh, Lisa.
Tabitha?
No, Lisa.
Lisa. There you go. Lisa, you're the winner.
Yep.
Lisa had 2.
Lisa's our girl. Hey, Lisa.
Okay. So Lisa, you got it. Okay. Awesome. So just to wrap things up now, just Lisa, you want to talk a little bit about your story?
So this is our very first launch. It was Shelf Reliance back in the day. Wanted to have the best food on the planet. That was their goal. When I came into the business, they said, we're looking for a really good food, but we can't really find anything out there. So we want to have the best freeze dried. And I was just so wonderful to be the first consultant in, and just, it's been such a journey, like Jeff said, we're so happy that we did this. And there I am, I think I'm an executive there. And there was other people, other consultants that were higher on the rank ladder than me, but I was so happy for them. And, it's just been a business of relationships. I love this business because we get to be with each other. We get to help each other. We get to grow with each other. And I think starting a new business is all about that. Mm-hmm. And it makes you go into places that maybe you're not comfortable. I know that I am not the best public speaker. I get nervous, I get shaky, and it's over time, they just kept putting me up there that I've become a little bit more comfortable with standing in front of people and talking to people. But this has been a great journey. And I remember Budge, who was one of the co-founders, he just said, new businesses are all about growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. And so we have to grow, and we have grown. And since the beginning days where we were faxing in orders, and some of all the headaches we had, is today is like the best day to join Thrive Life because it's just like we have it all together now.
We don't even have to leave the house to share Thrive. We can do it right over Zoom.
So we just love this company and we're very passionate about it, and we love to cook with it and love to share with people. We love for people to come over to our house and we just sit there and let them try and let them prepare a meal with it, and it's just so fun. So it's a very fun business. It's really nothing, I mean, that I would have ever saw myself being in, but I do have to say I'm so glad we took that jump and that leap of faith in the beginning.
Yeah, and even though that was 12, 13 years ago, I would say that the time has never been better for Thrive. Like I said, it's become more and more mainstream. When we first started talking about Thrive, most people had never even tasted freeze-dried foods or didn't even know what they were.
Right.
And now they didn't know the difference between dehydrated and freeze-dried, and thought it was just for astronauts. And it's come a long way. But now it's becoming so mainstream, and people are seeing how important it is to have food on your shelf, to have a store of food, so you're not so reliant on running to the grocery store every time you need something.
Yeah.
And so really the time has never been better to jump in. And we have people who have joined Thrive Life as consultants in just the last year or two and are achieving the highest ranks and going on our trips, our annual we call them the fantasy getaway trips. And so really it's not too late to get in on the ground floor. It is a ground floor opportunity even today. So we want to thank you for joining us tonight. Should we try this? Should we just taste this and see how it is? We'll tell you how it tastes. Get a couple of onions and some rice and this. That's good. Just what it needed was that little bit of Thrive vegetables.
I'm just gonna say that onion and pepper made it the best.
Now I'm gonna have to talk with my mouth full. Gives you for talking with my mouth full, but I want to thank you again for joining us. And we do this every month. You're welcome to come back, invite people who would like to learn a little bit more about Thrive. And if you're interested in purchasing the food, getting on the delivery service, becoming a consultant, or just learning a little bit more, get with the person who invited you, and they'll be happy to help you whatever you need.
Yeah.
And those who won credits, Tracy should have a list, and we'll get with you and put those credits into your account.
Okay.
All right.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah. We'll have to watch the hit the new messages there. All right. I don't see any questions, so we're going to wrap it up there. And I want to thank you. Why don't they have blueberry yogurt bites?
Maybe blueberry yogurt bites will come back soon.
Yeah, again, it's kind of like Costco. Sometimes things, I think
we should show them what we bought at Costco.
Oh yeah, we'll show you something we got at Costco last night. It's amazing. It's right there. Some things will come and go depending on availability, and who knows, blueberry yogurt bites might just be one of those.
So this is something that we picked up at Costco. It's called True Fru. Don't know if Costco in Canada has this, but this is a freeze-dried strawberry, chocolate-covered strawberry. And that's how mainstream this is becoming, is freeze-dried is in Costco. I'm like, okay, I have to take this down to corporate and get them to duplicate this.
Bite it in half and show them.
Can you see that? Can you see that strawberry?
Yeah, dark chocolate.
That's a
freeze-dried strawberry.
There's a freeze-dried strawberry and dark chocolate.
Yep. So it is really
Okay.
mainstream. And anyway, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
All right. So get with the person that invited you, and we will see you next month.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.